We've got Chris Early, my buddy Chris Early, personal injury attorney up in Boston. He says, my 2 cents to someone behind me. I would post at least once per day to LinkedIn every single day for 1 year to see a great harvest result. Chris, Chris is a guy he's posting multiple times per day to LinkedIn. The concept that I see behind this is similar to what we talked about early on about being all in with something, about really having that effort, what Kevin Martin talked about earlier. Oh, and Chris Early, his website is earlylawgroup.com, and that is spelled EARLEY. That's EARLEY, earlylawgroup.com. Post on LinkedIn, going all in, having the effort level, the consistency. Look, posting every single day for a year, hard to do, definitely is. But if you post for at least, say, 100 days once per day, you will have done 100 posts. You should be able to get a sense of how it's going, what content appeals most to your existing or potential audience, looking at what you can double down on, what you can pull back on. So posting at least once per day to LinkedIn every single day for 1 year. And then you're building an audience along the way. And what we can do to plus up what Chris has talked about here, and I know that Chris has done this, is you take the opportunity then to network with people who you meet. And you comment on other people's posts, and you take it and layer into it like Tony Albrecht, my buddy Tony Albrecht over at Contender Coaching, Contender. He works with attorneys to do LinkedIn posts. He's got a flagship service of LinkedIn ghostwriting. Boy, oh boy, you should go check that out. My goodness. I'm a huge fan of what Tony has done and is doing, and that's contenderllc.com. So go check that out. But with Chris here, getting everything up on LinkedIn, he's talking about the posting. Tony would tell you about his 10-5-1 system, which is 10 comments, 5 direct messages, and 1 post per week. All of those things, that 10-5-1 done per week, staying on rhythm with that. Depending on how you like to interact with LinkedIn. Chris is a prolific creator, right? That's part of what this exercise is as well, is all these people are coming from different places, and their advice requires some level of the context of where they're coming from and where they're trying to go and what's important to them. Chris loves publishing to LinkedIn. He loves being in that space. So it makes perfect sense. If you're a video person, you look at like Jeff Hampton, right? Maybe you just need to go and prolifically publish video. What both of those guys are doing, both Chris and Jeff are doing as well, is they are adapting. They are looking at what works, and they repeat their successes. Not to give away part of Chris's game here, but he will repeat posts that he knows works really, really well. And I actually don't know what the timeline is he does with this, but he will gladly repeat a post every X, maybe months, or maybe it's once a year, repeating posts that he knows works really well to drive engagement on that from the people who he is aligned with. Great strategy. Reuse what works. On YouTube, you have a video style that works really well. Repeat that video style. Repeat that topic with a slightly different framework. So that's Chris's advice, and that's early, EARLEY, lawgroup.com. All right, we'll do one more, and then we're going to split this up into at least a part 2. We might end up with a part 3 of this because these were just really good submissions.